and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Kurtz is excused. Hayward.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Scharf.
Yes.
O'Laughlin.
Yes.
Hannah.
Yes.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Motion from Carl, second by Bob. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. We have nobody signed in for public comment, so now I need a motion to accept and approve the consent agenda that approves the following: the minutes of the January 22nd, 2018 regular meeting. River's Edge Class B beer includes wine coolers, Class B native wine permit, and Sunday sales liquor license February 3rd, 2018 through February 2nd, 2019. Quick Star number 717, Class C beer permit, and Sunday sales liquor license April 1st, 2018 through March 31st, 2019. Checkered Flag Class C liquor license refund request to be paid upon notice from Iowa ABD. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by
How
O'Laughlin.
much is that checkered flag refund?
Do you know how much it's going to be?
Is there an attachment on there that says?
Yeah.
And that's what they submitted for. ABD could change it.
$742 total. Local authority is only $308.75. The balance is coming from the ABD.
And ABD could change that amount, but that's the amount that the establishment has requested.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
We need a
I do have a motion. Do
I would second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Thank you. Next is approve the claims.
So moved.
Motion from Hill, seconded by
I'll second.
Hayward. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Motion is carried. Next, petition from the public, Independence Police Department Officer Lau. Good to see you.
Good evening. Just a little bit of an update. Since we've actually had our last fairly large snowfall, kind of moved on to making sure people are getting their sidewalks cleared. Happy to report that for the most part, people are doing good, which normally we do see that when we get a very large snowfall like this. It's the smaller snowfalls that people aren't quite as good about getting out and taking care of it. But when they can't actually get to their own vehicles or walk out, that's when they're shoveling. But so far, they're pretty good today. I did quite a few checks. Only there's a couple of them in the northwest that are a constant problem, that those will be actually forwarded to Parks and Rec probably tomorrow to have those done, and continue to check the southeast tomorrow. I didn't get that part done. But so as far as that goes, that's pretty good. Wrapping up a couple junk properties. I actually have one that's set for court for initial appearance Wednesday. However, there was a fire there here this last week. So we'll see how that impacts that, if it ends up going to court or not. But it's my understanding that that individual has already been told by the landlord that he is to be out of there and have things cleaned up by tomorrow night. So we'll see what happens with that.
When you take that to court, do you take the landlord or the person renting?
It goes, well, it depends. Is the person directly responsible? So if you have somebody that's renting and it's their junk that's there, ultimately, if we have to file for an abatement, that would go back on the actual property owner, because if they don't end up paying, then we assess that to their taxes. So in this instance, this male is buying the house on contract from somebody, and it's all his junk. So I spoke with the previous city attorney, and we decided that the best course was to go directly after the guys whose junk it was, because when you're looking at upwards of a $700 fine possible, that usually gets people to clean up the junk on their own. I mean, I haven't seen a fine that big at all, but when they see that $750 maximum fine, it usually motivates people. So
Do you have a court date for this Wednesday?
Yeah, it's just his initial appearance.
Oh, okay.
So at that point in time, then they'll set it for a future court date depending on what happens at his initial appearance. But normally that's what happens is the other initial appearance, then we have another court date, approximately a month out. And then usually within that month is when we see a lot of progress of them trying to get the property cleaned up before court to appease the city attorney and also the magistrate. So.
Okay. Anybody else
And
have any
you have
questions?
noticed that Casey's been getting on, they were out there to,
I have one question.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I've noticed it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
never mind.
I had a call about, can the businesses down on Main Street push their snow into the street and the city cleans it up?
Yes? Off the
The
sidewalks.
sidewalk is all, not parking lots.
So if they have a parking lot, they've got to clean that up themselves,
That's correct.
Yes,
not the city.
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Tell me more about Casey.
oh, I was just saying, I didn't know if you'd noticed, but yeah, they are getting that clean now. And
You
the
have to
sidewalk
talk
is-
with him, did you?
Yeah, I actually spoke with somebody, they actually called me back from corporate, it took them a few days, because you get an automated system, but she assured me she was gonna get a hold of whoever contracted with the other Casey stores and make sure they were getting that one done,
Okay,
so.
good.
So are they doing the parking lot and the
No, just-
sidewalks?
just the
Just the
sidewalk.
sidewalks too, for ordinance? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything from the month? They've had any other,
Any
Good
other
work, Brian.
questions, Deb?
Very nice work.
thank you.
No, that's it, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you,
Okay.
Brian.
have a
thanks a
nice
lot,
evening.
Brian. Next on the agenda, Independence Motor Speedway Car Show with Julie Althouse, but she and her husband are not here. Do we go ahead and deal with this?
Yes.
Okay. I think you have, as an attachment to your iPad, is their agenda request. But they're the new promoters of the Independence Motor Speedway and would like to have a car show on Main Street the morning of April 7th and run the cars down Second Avenue to the racetrack with a police escort. We did that several years ago. It's been a while since we have done it. And it says we will need to have the city police department to assist us like in the past. Yes, Dustin?
That's it. As long as I've been in this position, we've never done it.
No.
When I moved into town in 2011, I think we did it. I think the city did it maybe that year, maybe the year after. But as long as I've been on the city council and worked for the city, we haven't done this. I don't see any issues. I ran it past Brinkema since I knew he's the one that mostly does any of the road closures or knows any of that stuff. He's never had a problem with it. It's never been an issue. I do remember the time that they did do it and run them, because it runs in front of my house, the first time ever seeing that. I never thought it was a problem. As long as they go slow, as long as the officer in front keeps them at a good pace, they don't keep a gap. If you start having a gap, people might try to squeal their tires, but as soon as it starts doing that and the citizens complain about it, more than likely you guys will shut it down and not let them do it again. So, but I don't see any issues with it. We've shut this First Street down for other things as well, so.
They did it for 2 or 3 years ago, when I was even on the Fair Board stuff. We did that. It was a good draw for the downtown area.
It hasn't been a constant thing, which I'm surprised, but all depends on who's in charge of it and if they want to put up the time and effort to have it going, so. I don't see an issue with it. I think it'd be a good thing for downtown.
So we close it from the bank corner down to Hardick Drug for
Yes,
staging?
Just that block.
Yep.
And then they go down,
Yep, from talking to Brinkema, it sounds like they would actually unload them on Third Street, or not Third Street, Third Avenue. Around that area, have them come on to First Street from the bank corners down to Second Avenue, and then when they leave, they'll all kind of angle to the west, and when they leave, they'll pull out and they'll go up Second Avenue right into the fairgrounds from there. So,
do we need to state if they're going through the intersection?
no, as far as I understand, they leave that intersection open so that they don't have to worry about shutting it down or getting hold of the state for it, so. I'd have to look at the plans that he had for what they did before, but he said it never was an issue and he doesn't have any problem with
They
it.
never did close any intersections, just the street itself from from where Hardick Drug is to the bank corners.
Right.
And then they had contest people that were down there looking at all the different cars, could judge. They had different categories for things, and then those owners got some prizes from the Fair Board and stuff.
Well, they never had a problem. I was here when we did that 2 years,
Yeah.
and they had, the show was good, and in fact, we got a lot of response from the community because they were amazed how tempting it is when you got a cart makes a little noise and not wrap them up or anything, but they didn't do it, and they said they weren't going to, and they didn't.
Yep.
And they did a really good job, so I just want to say they were responsible and did what they were supposed to do.
And that's the biggest thing. As long as the people that are promoting this, putting this on, lets them all know not to do that, I don't see a problem. If they start having issues with people doing that, I can see the complaints coming in and you guys wanting to shut them not from doing it again. But no, I don't see any problems with it. I mean, it does bring people into downtown, and we do have a racetrack here. You have a racing community that likes to be out and about to see them. I had never lived in a community that had done that, and I thought it was a really nice thing when they did, so.
The kids like it, and a lot of people do.
Yep, I have a lot of friends that would be happy to come down when they do it.
Yep. Yep. I'm not sure what hours of the day they have it, because it's not the full day.
No.
They set up in the morning, and I think they leave sometime shortly after lunch, or whatever the case is. But
Yeah,
I didn't see a time for it on their application here, or their thing, just the date.
This is the morning of.
Okay, yeah.
I make a motion to approve it.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
A motion and a second to approve this request. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Thanks, Dustin.
yep, I will also reach out to them and make sure we get a time frame on all that, so we. have
Work
it
out the
set.
details and everything with
Yep.
them. Okay, sounds great. Okay, next on my agenda, hearings. Motion to set the date of public hearing for March 12th, 2018 at 6 PM at City Hall Council Chambers for the approval of the fiscal year 2018 budget amendment and budget transactions.
So moved.
Motion from
Second.
Hill, second by O'Laughlin. Any discussion? I need a roll call, please.
Hayward,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Scharf,
Yes.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Thank you, motion carried. Next, we need a motion to set the date of public hearing for March 12th, 2018 at 6 PM in City Hall Council Chambers for the approval of the fiscal year 2019 budget and budget transactions.
So moved.
Motion from Hill,
Second.
second from Mike. Either one, whichever Mike you thought went first. Let you take those notes. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Hill,
Yes.
Scharf,
Yes.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carried. Next, I need a motion to approve a resolution setting a public hearing for February 26 at 6:30 PM in City Hall for a proposal to enter into a general obligation corporate purpose loan agreement and to borrow money in the principal amount not to exceed $2,700,000.
So moved.
Motion from Hill,
Second.
second by O'Laughlin. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Scharf,
Yes.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carried. Next, a resolution declaring, a motion to approve a resolution setting a public hearing for February 26 at 6:30 PM, City Hall for a proposal enter to, is that the same one I just read, or is this a
No.
different
No.
one? Is it? Okay. To enter into a general obligation corporate purpose loan
Now
agreement.
you're on the same one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that one.
There, motion to approve a resolution declaring necessity and providing for a public hearing on February 26th at 6:30 in City Hall on proposed urban revitalization plan.
This is for the multifamily housing project that we had discussed.
So move.
Motion from Hayward,
Second.
second from Scharf. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I got one question on the section 3 where it says they're gonna waive the right to give the owners, property owners, a notice about that. I don't think we should do that. I think we should notify them that we're gonna be thinking about doing this so they're aware of it.
You in the notice of the, I mean, in the resolution?
Well,
In the public.
you've got section 3, it says the city clerk is hereby authorized and directed to present the certificate and waiver to the owners of the property for execution and delivered to the city by no later than February 26th. So I thought they were gonna waiver giving those property owners the notice. I don't think we should do that. I think we should give them the notice.
Is that in this?
I'm opening it up, Deb, just to make sure I understand what you're saying.
Giving something.
Onto the second.
Yeah, I think we're giving it to them.
Yeah. It's a section, is it section 3, did you
Yeah.
say?
Yes.
Hereby authorized and directed to present the certificate or waiver to the owner's property. So what was it you were wanting to do, Deb? I guess I'm not quite sure.
Well, it sounds to me like we want to notify the property owners of that area about us doing that, if we want to waiver that.
I don't think this waivers the notification to the property owners.
I do kind of understand what she was talking about in the proceedings that we got from Dorsey and Whitney. The public notice that goes into the newspaper did say something about waiving it due to access to addresses and something, I don't remember exactly the wording.
Because this says that you're authorized and directed to present the certificate of waiver to the owners for execution and delivery to the city by no later than February 26th.
Property owner.
But it was like it down here in the.
So I think this is their opportunity to sell to this, or any kind of economic development.
So we are going to notify the property owners
They already know.
about that.
Well, that's what number 3 says.
Okay.
I-
was wrong there.
So
Maybe
is there
section
something-
5?
The, this was drafted by bond counsel, and I can only assume that there is some language in here that's specific to is something in the revitalization act that they are addressing. It's not about avoiding notification to the property owners. And if you take a look at the area that this is in, there's not that many property owners there. If council wants to send a written notice to all of the property owners in that area around this, we can sure do that.
How far a radius do you do? Because,
I took this to mean that it was just, the certificate would be, that it would meet the urban renewal standards, correct?
Well, that's my understanding with it is, I mean, because that's what we're trying to do.
It's
I don't think-
revitalization zone.
Right.
The certificate proves that, and so.
And I'm reading this for the first time, but as I read this, this doesn't appear like anything, an attempt to circumvent any notice, because it in fact requires presentation of a certificate of waiver to the owners, and then the owners are thereafter to execute and deliver the certificates of waiver to the city. So it's actually requiring notice and action by the property owners.
Yeah, and under section 5, what it waives is,
mailing.
because there is a lack of reasonably current and complete address lists, the finding of the council that the published notice will be sufficient to apprise such persons of the hearing. If we do a mailing and we are not able to find a current or accurate address list in that area, it protects the council from that notification requirement. It doesn't mean that we're not sending
How
it
do we
out.
not know who has that?
Well, if property changes hands, if it's in a in an estate, in a corporate trust, in a, you know, what have you. Every time that we do a mailing, there's always the odd one that does come back. What this is doing is saying, we'll mail it to those people that we have on record, but if we are not able to get it to somebody, that does not preclude us from being able to proceed with the process.
I guess I don't like that language, but
But we will make an effort, we will mail.
We will make an effort to notify them, and again, if you look at section 3, it says that the city clerk is hereby authorized and directed to present the certificate and waiver to the owners of the property. So we're going to send it out, we notify them of this, but if you have somebody who's not in the mailing list, I guess that would be, the way I read this is you take section 3 and section 5 collectively on that notice, but we'll mail it out, I have no issue with that.
Again, who are we mailing it out to? How far are you going from where this empty lot is?
I would double check with bond counsel. I haven't looked at the statutory requirement for the Urban Revitalization Act.
Because the only thing would be the assisted living.
Well, the property owners, it doesn't mean that there has to be a development on it. So Buchanan County Economic Development is across the street. Prairie Village is there. Olds have property to the north. I would guess that Walmart has some property. I don't know if it goes that far. I'm trying to think of who owns the farmland to the north.
Same guy that sold to Rydell.
Right. So, I mean, there's a number of people there. And then you also have to look south of the highway because that, there may be property on the south side of Highway 20, depending on the distance. And I don't know the distance exactly that they'd be required to have. It's 200 feet, 500 feet, 1,500 feet.
Because this is to give them a notice about the fact of when the hearing is.
That's correct.
Okay.
I'll make motion.
We have a motion and a second on that.
Okay, motion and a second already?
Yeah. This was just discussion part, sorry. Roll call.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Hannah,
yes.
Vaughn,
Me?
Yeah.
It's up to me now? Oh, yes.
You're the only Vaughn here.
Hayward,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Sharp.
Yes.
Thank you, motion carried. Did you doze off or what? Okay, we're down to resolutions. First one is motion to approve a resolution updating the contact information throughout the disaster recovery plan. Now, this is the recovery plan that we have in regards to our IT and our information stuff.
This is our IT disaster recovery plan, our computer networks, I guess between the police department, the city hall, and library servers, et cetera.
Because when you originally asked about seeing the disaster plan, were you talking about the emergency management one,
Yes.
Yes.
which is under the county? County
We're
has
we're gonna
one
have
more
a
portion
training
of that.
session on that.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, this just deals with the city's networks and the hardware and software that we have for the backbone of the city. And in the disaster recovery plan, it identifies your role as a council, the mayor's role, staff's role in addressing those issues.
And the only changes were phone numbers and.
Phone numbers and
names.
names.
Names, and, yeah, okay. Do I have a motion?
I'd move.
Motion by Hayward, second
I'll
by
second.
O'Laughlin. Any other discussion? Roll,
Yeah, I have one question about it.
okay.
It talks about the disaster recovery call tree, and what level are the council people considered on this? Talks about the levels.
The council are behind, generally it's the mayor and the city manager, and then council would be after that. I think actually, depending on what the incident is or what the situation is, in most cases, it's our IT service providers, Josh Vandenberg or Ryan Decker would be the first notification, and then it would come to either the mayor or the city manager, and then down to the council. But again, throughout the document, there's different instances where there's who's notified changes.
So we're mostly level 3?
Primarily level 3, yes.
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Hannah,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Scharf,
Yes.
O'Laughlin.
Yes.
Thank you, motion carried. Next on the agenda is a motion to pass a resolution approving the final plat of Jackson Green 6th Edition.
You took action on this at the last meeting, but we did not do it as a resolution. We just asked you to do it as a resolution.
So moved.
Motion by Laughlin,
Second.
second by Scharf. Any other discussion?
Is this Steve G's?
No, this is Olds.
Oh.
Jackson
Oh,
Edition
okay,
is
thank you.
Olds.
Okay.
Roll call.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Scharf,
Yes.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Hannah.
Yes.
Thank you, motion carried. Next is a motion to pass a resolution approving the Wapsie View Reserve Number 1 preliminary plat.
Again, this is the same action that you were asked to do at the last meeting, just putting it into the form of a resolution.
And this
And
is
this
the
one-
one out there that's outside the city limits, actually, but we still have to do the resolution for it.
Yeah, how does that work? I mean, I'm just out of curiosity, it's interesting.
If there's a property within the 2-mile extraterritorial jurisdiction of the city, you have to give it your blessing before it can be rezoned or replatted. You know, any zoning action that takes place, you have to weigh in on that one way or the other. Not that we have anything to say about it. In talking with Doug, there's really nothing that will come to the city one way or the other because it's across the river.
Yeah.
But one tip or one corner of this property just barely falls within that 2-mile jurisdiction from the furthest corner of the city. So it's almost at a point where it's insignificant to us regardless. But because that one corner does touch, you are required to take action on it one way or the other.
Now, it looked like in the paper that the Board of Supervisors and the property owner were differing on use of that. Are we forcing ourselves into taking sides by making this resolution?
No, you're not really taking sides one way or the other. It's, quite honestly, at a 2-mile jurisdiction, you're mostly throwing your hands up and saying, I'm not sure that we have a dog in this fight or that we care one way or the other.
Okay.
And again, at the position that it is, it's a preliminary plat. I don't have an issue with it one way or the other. We approached it from the standpoint of we were just reaffirming your original vote. If you want to change that vote, you have the right to do that via the resolution because that is the official document. The county will have the ultimate zoning decision on this because it is in their jurisdiction.
I'd make a motion.
Motion by Hayward, seconded by
Second.
Hill. Roll call, please.
Hayward,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Scharf,
Yes.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Thank you, motion carried. Next is a motion to approve a resolution assessing the property at 110 8th Avenue Northwest for water service repairs.
City code allows for the city to step in when there is a nuisance or an issue that has to be resolved where the property owner is not able to. If we do so, we have the right to assess those costs back to the property owner, which is what we're doing in this case.
Is property owner aware of this?
Yes.
So move.
Motion by Hayward,
Second.
second by O'Laughlin. Roll call, please.
Hill,
Yes.
Scharf,
Yes.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Thank you, motion carried. Next, a motion to replace and repeal Resolution 2018-04 to assess property owners for Chapter 136 sidewalk regulations. You have an attachment on that one?
Yeah, what's this?
Corrects the address for one of the assessments. In order to correct the assessment and get it to the right person, this resolution changes that address. And I believe that's bolded on your list of assessments.
And the rest of these people are all still being assessed just as they are now?
That's correct.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Hill,
Second.
second by Hayward. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Sharp,
Yes.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Hannah,
Deb?
Yes.
Okay.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Thank you, motion carried. Next, under new business, is the motion to approve a 28E agreement with the City of Jessup Police Department. We discussed this at our workshop. Dustin?
Just to answer any questions if you guys had anything.
Sounds like it's a win-win.
I think so. Our city attorneys, they did a great job putting it together for us, so. I talked to Josh over in Jessup. He has no issues with that. He thinks it looks really good. He's talked to the mayor over there. They're just waiting for the next council meeting to do the same thing we're doing tonight.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by O'Laughlin,
Second.
second by Scharf. Any other discussion?
Well, I think for citizens, all this is if a officer in Jessup or an officer in Independence works part-time in either community, they can use their equipment outside of the shirt with the badge on.
So, yep, they can use, if a full-time officer in Jessup works part-time here, or a full-time officer here works part-time in Jessup, this makes us agreeing that our equipment can be used over there, except for anything that says Independence when they're working over there. And if they work over here, anything except what says Jessup. So pretty much it's our shirt, so that we don't have that crossover, so.
Okay. Do you have a motion on that? Okay, roll call.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Sharf,
Yes.
Thank you, motion carried.
you.
Next is Home Rule Anniversary Proclamation. I think you have a copy of it, but I'll go ahead and read it out for our minutes. Whereas home rule is essential to effective and responsive municipal governance in Iowa and provides flexibility to make decisions at the local level, where decisions are made closest to the people they impact and can be tailored to fit local conditions, needs, and concerns in order to better serve taxpayers. Whereas the City of Independence supports home rule and the powers it provides to make local decisions that best reflects the residents of our community. Whereas the citizens of Iowa approved the adoption of home rule in the Constitution of Iowa on November 5th, 1968. Whereas this is the 50th year of municipal home rule in Iowa. Whereas home rule continues to be vital to the health and prosperity of all cities in Iowa. Now therefore, I, Bonita Davis, Mayor of Independence, do hereby recognize the 50th anniversary of municipal home rule in Iowa and proudly support its continued authority. Do we,
For the League of Cities' sake, I would ask that the council take an affirmative action on the proclamation as opposed to the mayor simply signing it. So if you'd be willing to make a motion, a second, and take a vote on that, and that will be our official record of the proclamation.
So moved.
motion by Laughlin,
Second.
second by Hayward. Any other discussion?
We should include something at the end about how it was violated last year by the Iowa General Assembly, but it was.
Should put that in this proclamation that they
They
violated
violated
last
it.
year?
P.S.
That is one of the comments that is heard loud in Des Moines, and clearly it was. There is a concern about the eroding of home rule and what that means for us if it continues. It also passed on a 65% margin, I believe, when it was adopted. And nothing in the legislature seems to vote, pass on a 65% margin any longer. So very impressive for something of this magnitude at the time. Anyway, I think it's something we need to make a statement that it is important to us that home rule is better for the citizens of Iowa and the citizens of Independence.
You want a roll call?
You want to do in favor or what?
You want a
You can
roll
do
call on
it.
that, or all in
You can
favor?
do all in favor.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Thank you, guys. Next on the agenda is a motion to approve the master agreement with Fox Engineering.
This is the agreement for the services that they've already initiated at our wastewater treatment plant rehabilitation, the work that they're doing there. This will be followed up with a task order that specifies more specifically those items that are going to be engineered and bid out. That's a moving target right now. We haven't received the most up-to-date task order. They've had a couple that have come through. We've changed those because of modifications that Mark has been able to make, work that we can do, or work that isn't necessary because of the pipe testing that Mark did to make sure that we had sufficient density on some of the piping. So this is just the master agreement that everything else will fall under.
Do I have a motion?
Does this include their fees for this project?
Yes, but I don't think it is a set fee. It is an hourly rate that we have with Fox Engineering for this work. The task order will spell out their fees based on the size of the scope, or scope of the project when we get it nailed down.
I'd move.
Motion from Hayward,
Second.
second by Scharf. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Hannah,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Scharf,
Yes.
O'Laughlin.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carried. This is going to be one of the shortest meetings we've ever had.
No,
Don't
No.
be bragging yet. We're not out of here.
We're not done yet. We have reports. Were there any council committees that need to report? We had them in the last week or so.
Well, the public safety did meet this afternoon and just had a good conversation with area ambulance, so I think things are worked out, understanding.
Okay. Any other committees? Dustin, I think you're the only department head here. Do you have anything else you'd like to share?
With the police department, this last Wednesday, it was, all the officers and including Katie were all certified in first aid in AED training at the office there. Something that the police department does every 2 years to keep our certification up. I didn't know if Danielle, I don't remember if Danielle was certified in it or not, but I decided to bring Katie in as well because I wanted to make sure that if somebody in the entryway passed out or something, she was certified in CPR and the AED to make sure that she could also handle the situation as well. So we all this last week got certified in doing that. Other trainings that we're going to be doing, Captain Brinkema and Assistant Chief Darwin, myself, we're going to be heading over to Jessup on the 27th for the IPA, the pipeline training that they're having over there at City Hall. In our monthly meeting, we notified that that's training that was coming up. It's the first time the Jessup Police Chief heard about it, so we informed him we were coming to Jessup and that he should probably be there as well. So he's going to be there. In January, there was a free search warrant writing class in Benton. I tried to get some of my officers to go to that, but within 2 weeks of it opening up, it was full and there was a 28-person waiting list. So I reached out to the MCTC, through the Iowa Law Enforcement Academy, they have a base down there as well, about the training course to see if we could host that here in Independence. And on May 16th, they're actually going to be coming to Independence out to Heartland Acres, and we're going to be hosting that class out here. I have almost all my entire department signed up for it. I sent it out to Jessup, the Sheriff's Department, DNR, State Patrol, DOT, and they're signing up. Right now, it's all based on anybody in the county can sign up for it. It's free for them to come to. They have to have a laptop for it. It is not open to other agencies outside of this area until the 15th. So we're trying to get as many as we can from our area in there, make sure that we have the room, and then it'll be open up to many other ones. So on May 16th, we're going to have a bunch of agencies coming to Independence for this training. It's a one-day training from 8 to 5, I think is what it's scheduled for. So one of the things we're trying to do here. Officer McFerrin is off right now on medical leave. He is doing very well. His rotator cuff surgery, he went very well. He's, when I talked to him the other day, he's recuperating. His arm's up in a sling. He can't do a whole lot. But it's to be expected with that. I've never had one, so I can't tell you how long it takes to recover from one. But he was in good spirits, and I was looking forward to get back to work. We had a successful snow emergency, I guess we could call it. We wrote less tickets this time than we did the first time, so people are more aware that it's happening. And we had it out as many places as we possibly could. 13 total, if I remember right, that we've posted it, including our Facebook page, the fire department's Facebook page, the city website, Bulletin Journal, all the news places that we have on our list that we send it out to. So with our snow emergency, when we put it out on our Facebook page, it reached 7,023 people, the emergency that we posted. And then when we recalled it, because it was supposed to be till Sunday at noon, but because of the weather and not getting as much snow as they predicted, we recalled it, and that reached almost 1,500 people there that when we recalled it. So I said, we're trying to get out there as much as possible. People can see it, understand it, they can move their vehicles, so it makes it safer for the street guys to plow the roads. So
Hopefully, we don't have any more snowstorms and don't have to do any more
I'm hoping so.
before
I mean,
spring.
Usually it's only 2, maybe 3 in a year, and hopefully that's it. But this was a big one, so it got taken care of pretty well. So had a lot of compliments to the road guys for getting everything cleaned up. They did a very good job. I know I went out and did some plowing Friday with some places here and there, and they had a lot of stuff already cleaned up before I was able to get out, so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can't remember which side I started with council last time. Who did I start with? You?
Yeah,
I'll start with you tonight.
all right. Nothing, just a good day. The public safety meeting was a nice dialogue, got things straightened out, so hopefully everything proceeds.
So you're okay being on it now?
Sure.
Since you had your first one?
Well, I like the public works one, but you do what you do.
Yeah. It's a new learning one. You can learn more for this one. Anything else?
No, thank you.
Okay. Carl, do you have anything?
Okay, well, on a light note, on our request to be on the council, to be in front of the council, we need to get that updated. I'm not on there, Mike's not on there, and the city attorney's not on there,
On the what?
on that form to come in front of us. If you look at one for the race cars,
An old house filled out. Was it an old form?
It probably is.
yeah, well, we need to look at those things. Now, on a heavier note, I'd like help for the next public works. I still got several calls on these people. They don't have a place to park. We need to address this issue. They are citizens, they are taxpayers. Dustin is right, it went down about 16 or 17 tickets from the last time after I checked. But we still gotta sit down, people, and work out something for some of these people. They have no driveway, they have no place to park, and some of them are only one home. How are they gonna get back from where they're gonna go? So if you would put that down on our agenda, because we need to talk about it.
Okay, is Public Works the right place to do that?
Well, that way, well, streets, you tell me where you wanna put it.
I'm asking the question because.
I wanna be there, is what I'm saying.
No, I understand. The concern I have is not which committee deals with it, but it is a city code, a city ordinance
Yeah,
that
and it
we're
could be
dealing
on,
with.
you're right, it could, maybe both places.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, well,
The meeting of the whole?
Committee as a whole.
Oh, that,
I think the committee of the whole is
well,
more
that'd be fine too,
appropriate.
but as long as, see what happens, we all know this, we talk about it, and then pretty soon everything goes away, and then we put it in the back
Weather
burner.
gets nice.
The weather gets nice, that's right, Benita, but we don't wanna drop the ball there. These are our citizens, like I say, they're taxpayers, and, I know we can't solve the world, but we can take a better look at this,
Sure.
okay? Thank you. That's all I got.
Bob?
Oh, I don't have anything.
Mike?
Two things, I guess. First, thanks to the city boys for the streets were spiffed up pretty nice, pretty fast. It was very impressive. They did a nice job. Second thing, the fireman's soup supper is coming up. Blake, help me.
A week from tomorrow.
Next Tuesday, what hours? 5 to 7. It's good eats. They do a nice job, and it's an opportunity to sit down and see the guys when they're maybe not in full gear and get to see the personal side of them a little bit.
What's next Tuesday?
That's it.
So is that the 20th?
20th, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Blake? Yes, sir. Is it's still, I mean, for the public, is it still a donation thing like we've always done?
Yep, free will donation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bet.
Denny?
Nothing.
Deb, do you have anything?
The only thing I had was a question on this first responders call-out hours. And is this what we're gonna be charging area ambulance for?
No.
No, in fact, when we had our meeting today, we came up with an agreement as far as not having first responders go out as often, only if they are requested by the ambulance crew itself.
Okay, so this just doesn't really mean too much to us then, or?
Well, we tried it for 3 months to see how it worked. We had our people that took the training. We still have some that need to take the test. But decided that we're going to be visiting with the people who call out dispatchers and have them only call out the ambulance when they need it, and the ambulance will have to call out the first responders.
That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. And then we're going to be meeting again, and we're going to do this for 3 months, and then we'll meet again with the ambulance people and see what other things need to be tweaked or how that works out to go that route.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
You don't want to gloat about your beautiful weather down there or anything? Rub that in, or?
Well, the last 3 days haven't been beautiful. It's been in the 50s and cold and rainy, so.
Cold at 50, oh, poor thing.
I know.
We're all playing our violins for you, Deb.
Okay, it's gonna be 80 Saturday.
I knew you had to throw that in. Thank you.
Yeah.
City Attorney, do you have anything you would like to share tonight?
No, thank you.
Okay. Gina?
I don't have anything. Amy and I will be attending a training tomorrow in the afternoon in Hiawatha for some HR stuff and some OSHA stuff. So we'll be updating you on that when we learn about it.
Susie going to be here?
Susie will be here, yeah.
Okay. Al?
Of course, I have a laundry list.
I knew there was somebody who's going to make it be a long meeting.
I would encourage the council to take a look at your calendars for March 3rd. The Chamber of Commerce has their annual banquet, and if you'd let us know which of you are able to attend, generally we have at a city table. We will not cover for your spouses, but if you'd let us know which ones of you are able to attend, we'd love to have you there. An update, the street shop, the lights have been changed. There's a little bit of a question as to how much change in the lights, and we've tweaked it a little bit. We're going to have to get the folks from Total Illumination and the Indytel back out there to take another look at it. We had to make a couple of decisions on the fly. I think we can get better lights with doing it a little bit differently, so we'll get them there to finish that up. But they have put in most of the lights, and it's made a big difference in there. In the fire department, the lights, Indytel is working on getting their guys up here to take a look at it. They're getting closer to being ready to put those in and update them, but we got to take a look, because I think with the LED lights, we need fewer fixtures. We can do a better job with that, so we just have to figure out where we want them. We do have a grant that I will submit later this week. It's a $100,000 trail grant for First Street West to help cover the city's share of those costs. Be aware that that's going in. It's really a low risk for us to submit it. We meet the criteria that they're looking for very well, so I think we have a reasonable shot at that. Currently, that's also being funded with $145,000 of ITAP money through federal transportation. So this will help out with this city share. And on a much brighter note, last week at the legislative day, we did find out that our backfill is safe for this year. It is not part of the defunding, so we're not going to lose it in our current budget year. And we were assured that it is safe in our 2019 budget. That means it's about 90% safe. Nobody is really after it this year, and repeatedly we were told that it will be okay. After 2019, I would say that it's in some form of a phase out. I don't think it's going to be around much longer after that, from what we heard. Anything can change, but the backfill is our big concern, and it's safe this year, and we were assured that it would be safe next year.
Christian, can the council members vote for the different people for the different awards that you're giving out? Do you want to give that information of how they do that? Or do you have that published somewhere? Was that in the paper?
Yeah, it was
Article?
on Facebook and the newspaper, but I can send the link to you guys. I don't have it memorized.
I say, is it on your Facebook? Is the email place or the
The link.
link to something monkey or whatever, whatever? So you can actually vote for the different contestants for Citizen of the Year or Project of the Year and those type of things. So if you guys want to go on that. I also have a couple of pins for the home rule thing, if anybody would like them. I don't like putting them into my clothes, so did each of you get one of these? Oh, good, thank you. Wear them proudly. I
I'm
would,
wearing
but-
it at home.
Do what?
Learned it at home.
You wear it at home?
That's right.
Show Audrey.
I'm not touching that story for nothing.
He already
It
knows
is
that.
being eroded, though.
Otherwise, I have nothing else, so I will ask for a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Scharf and O'Laughlin, all those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carried. See you next time.